Top 10 most horrifying murders in American history and why they happened. Murder is one of the darkest aspects of human nature. Some crimes are so shocking that they leave an unforgettable mark on history. Today, we're diving into the top 10 most horrifying murders in American history, and uncovering the chilling reasons behind them. Viewer discretion is advised. We start our list with the infamous Lizzie Borden case. On August 4, 1892, Andrew and Abby Borden were found brutally murdered in their home in Fall River, Massachusetts. The primary suspect? Their daughter, Lizzie Borden. She was accused of hacking her father and stepmother to death with an axe. But why would she do it? Some say it was out of anger over her father's financial control. Others believe she resented her stepmother. Despite overwhelming suspicion, Lizzie was acquitted. But the mystery of that fateful day still lingers. A murder that still haunts Louisiana, the axe murders of Clementine Barnabet. Between 1911 and 1912, a string of axe murders swept through the region, leaving entire families slaughtered in their homes. The shocking twist? A young woman, Clementine Barnabet, confessed to leading a cult known as the Church of Sacrifice. She claimed these gruesome acts were part of ritualistic killings to bring power and protection. Whether or not her confession was true, the crimes remain some of the most brutal in American history. January 15, 1947. A gruesome discovery was made in Los Angeles, the body of Elizabeth Short, now infamously known as the Black Dahlia. Her corpse had been mutilated, cut in half, and drained of blood. The killer? Never found. But why would someone commit such a horrific act? Some theories suggest it was the work of a sadistic doctor. Others point to an enraged lover. To this day, one of Hollywood's most chilling, unsolved murders remains a terrifying enigma. August 9, 1969. Hollywood was shaken to its core when pregnant actress Sharon Tate and 4 others were brutally murdered by followers of Charles Manson. But why? Manson, a cult leader, convinced his followers that an apocalyptic race war, what he called helter-skelter, was coming. He believed these brutal killings would ignite chaos. Instead, they cemented his legacy as one of the most twisted criminals in history. Between 1970 and 1973, Dean Corll, also known as the Candyman, was responsible for the torture and murder of at least 28 young boys in Texas. Corll lured victims with candy and parties, gaining their trust before committing unspeakable horrors. His crimes only came to light when his accomplice Elmer Wayne Henley turned on him, shooting him in self-defense. The sheer scale of these crimes makes this one of the most horrifying cases in American history. One of the most infamous serial killers of all time, Jeffrey Dahmer, horrified the nation in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Dahmer lured young men to his apartment, where he drugged, killed, and dismembered them. But what made his crimes even more terrifying? He engaged in cannibalism and necrophilia. Dahmer later admitted that his killings were driven by an intense desire for complete control over his victims. His reign of terror ended in 1991 when a would-be victim escaped and alerted the police. A mystery that still baffles investigators to this day. The Zodiac Killer terrorized California in the late 1960s and 70s, claiming to have killed at least 37 people. He taunted police with cryptic letters and ciphers, some of which remain unsolved. His motives? Unclear. Some believe he killed for the thrill, while others suspect he was seeking notoriety. Despite decades of investigation, the Zodiac Killer was never caught. Charming, intelligent, and deadly. Ted Bundy lured young women to their deaths in the 1970s, using his good looks and feigned injuries to gain their trust. He later admitted to killing over 30 women, though the real number may be much higher. Bundy's crimes were driven by an insatiable need for power and domination. Even as he faced execution, he remained remorseless. A man who turned nightmares into reality, John Wayne Gacy, also known as the Killer Clown. By day, he was a respected businessman. By night, he lured young men to his home, where he tortured and killed them, burying their bodies in his crawl space. Gacy's twisted motivations stemmed from deep psychological issues and repressed desires. He was convicted of 33 murders and executed in 1994. Though he only killed 2 people, Ed Gein inspired some of the most terrifying horror movies, including The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho. Gein was obsessed with his mother and turned to grave robbing, using human remains to craft furniture and clothing. His deep-seated psychological trauma led him to commit murders in an attempt to resurrect his mother. A truly disturbing case of madness. These crimes are some of the darkest chapters in American history. They remind us of the terrifying depths of human nature. Which case do you think is the most horrifying? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling stories. Until next time, stay safe.